Hugh Hefner has died. I believe at 91 years old.
A lot of years of macking and pimping.
That's right.
Did that man do? Listen, when I was young, Hugh Hefner was somebody you wanted to be.
Of course.
This motherfucker had all the broads, all the money. He had planes, fucking mansion, all the shit that, you know, you're told, you know, is the American dream, basically.
Right. And Hugh Hefner was the only pornographer, because let's just call it what it is, right? It's pornography.
Mm-hmm. It's pimping.
That wasn't looked at as like a sleaze bag.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't looked at as
He
like
made pimping and porn respectable.
Respectable.
Mm-hmm.
Larry Flynt, you looked at him a very different type of way. And they're in the same type of business.
As a kid who came up on fucking porn magazines, because we happened to find a suitcase outside filled with them, you know, Hustler was more hardcore. Like,
yeah, the chicks would show their open up their vaginas.
Yeah, come on, that's what I wanted to see. I want to see the pink inside. Like, at first, you know, Playboy was like the beginner's porn almost, like, because you see some titties and you see some bush and you're like, oh, you see the bush, you thinking that's the pussy. But then when you really, whoa, I say, oh no, that's what it looks like. Oh, so the hair is like a covering. Oh, I see. And back then in the 70s, it was very hairy, so shit was hidden kind of, you know what I mean?
Right.
I thought the hair was the pussy. Then, oh, so your man Larry Flynt. Yeah, and then we found other books that was iller than that.
Well, then the movies came and everything else like that.
Well, that was a little later.
A little later.
Yeah, a little later. But
I mean, like I saw my first porno in junior high.
Oh.
See, a friend of mine, you know, had one. It was like one tape that circulated around the kids.
I was
you know
looking at nasty books since like 7, 8 years old, some shit like that.
Yeah, we had that one Hustler magazine that was circulating around the neighborhood.
No, what I'm telling you is, we found a suitcase full of these motherfuckers.
Crazy.
I'm talking hardcore porn. Like, it scarred me. It scarred me. It scarred me because now, I'm not even gonna talk about it. Anyway, it scarred me. As far as black people are concerned, like, he did bring some people to the forefront on his show, on that late night show that he had, Playboy After Dark or some shit he had. Yeah, well, I didn't watch it either, but if you look back on history, he brought certain, like, black acts onto that show that weren't necessarily, like, getting any love in the mainstream, you understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
And, like, he did that with quite a few black, you know, singers or actors and, you know, shit like that. So I got love for him for shit like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Ultimately, I mean, he was cool, but then ultimately when I found my real black heroes and shit, you know, the Mac and Superfly and all these, then fuck Hugh Hefner. Hugh Hefner ain't got shit.
But I think the one thing that Hugh Hefner sort of instilled on society is that here's what happens to a man when he has access to all the sex and all the beautiful women that he wants. Look how calm he is. Look how collected he is. You never heard Hugh Hefner being angry. You never heard him beefing with anybody.
This is true.
You never heard him raise his voice. He was chilling, happy, secure in his position. You know, clearly this man had his ups and downs.
Right.
Just like every other human being in this world, he had a divorce, he had, you know, children, you know, he had a runaway bride kind of situation later on, but he was always so cool and happy and collected.
Right.
And this is why I feel like
in a time where America was very sexually repressed.
Yeah, exactly.
But here's the thing.
Okay.
You know, I don't know if it's the repression, he unlocked some shit that you can't necessarily close. Because, I mean, it might have started with the harmless titties and showing a little bush, but look where we're at now with some of the crazy shit that's out there. I mean, it started with that, but now the internet, I mean, you could find somebody fucking a frog or some shit like that. You understand what I'm saying? Like, shit is crazy out there, like crazy. And he unlocked Pandora's box.
He opened the Pandora's box. And you know what was the interesting part is because I kind of researched him after the fact. In every great business, you could say is a great crime. Behind every great fortune is a great crime.
Okay.
Do you know who the first playmate was of the first Playboy magazine?
No.
Marilyn Monroe.
Oh, yes, I did know that. Well, she was the first cover.
She was the first cover. Mm-hmm. But did you know that she never posed for Playboy?
Bumbleclee, would I steal the pictures, them?
But before Marilyn Monroe started getting cast in movies,
she took some pictures. They got a hold of these pictures, published them without her approval.
Well, without her approval because she sold the rights to those photos to the photographer.
And then
she was paid $50 to do these photos. Then she became a bigger actress.
And so I'll give you $10,000.
I think like $2,000 or $10,000, something like that. A few $1,000 was paid to the photographer.
But now I have the rights, all of that.
To do whatever I want with them. She had never even met Hugh Hefner while she was alive. I think they talked on the phone once.
Wow.
Years later. And he's actually buried next to her.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
because he felt it was he bought it's like a mausoleum or something like that. Literally, the plot right next to her is where.
I thought Joe DiMaggio
maybe on the other side, but I'm saying Hugh Hefner bought the location right next to her.
Wow.
So in the Hollywood Cemetery where you should go, you could see Marilyn Monroe and
Joe DiMaggio and Hugh Hefner. Having running a train on her in the afterlife.
Okay, I don't know about that. Still too much for me. But yeah, because the way that Larry Flint got his start was through the Jacqueline Onassis, the Jacqueline Kennedy nude photos, which were taken, by a paparazzi.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and as he put that in Hustler. Hustler was already around, but it was kind of struggling. It was about to go out of business. And he bought these photos of Jacqueline Kennedy naked, sunbathing, whatever, and then boom, Hustler became a...
See, and that's back in the days of sucker shit. Like part of porn and all that is knowing that the girl knows that the camera's there. That's part of the freakiness of it. For you to be surreptitiously taking pictures of someone naked and then trying to, that's sucker shit. Like, you know what I mean? You want the girl looking right in the camera. Like, yeah, that's the shit. That's the new porn, okay? So that shit started as some sucker shit, and then later on it's like, look at the camera. You know what I mean? We're gonna take these pictures like real fucking men instead of like little fucking peeping toms and shit.
Yeah. No, I feel you.